the time.
Oh, that's right.
Start. All right, good morning, guys. So I'm sure you know our topic of today will be federal physician-assisted suicide should be legal under federal law. Secondary claim that we'll be talking about today is the points of autonomy and palliative care, and also responding to my opponent's remarks. So first, importance of autonomy. The terminally ill do not deserve to suffer for weeks or months in tremendous amounts of physical and emotional pain. It's already bad enough that you know you are going to pass away due to an unfortunate illness, so you need to sit there and actually just go through agonizing pain, or have to just know in your head that you're going to die, and every day is getting closer. When a competent adult makes an informed decision to refuse life-sustaining treatment, their wishes are generally respected. So if it's palliative care, the individual, let's say for example, they want to stop taking their life-supporting medicine, they want to stop taking certain things. Now, again, that could happen, but it's the right to decision. It's your life, and the fact that someone's trying to tell you you can't make the decision and you can't have the aid of your physician by your side, it's ludicrous. So my opponent argued about certain things for the Netherlands, about autonomy and about what happened in the Netherlands. Now, I don't know anything about the Netherlands, we're just focused on here about the United States and about we're implementing the law that's already been in Oregon. So according to the law in Oregon, to qualify, the patient must be a resident of the state, make 2 oral requests to the physician separated by 15 days, provide a written request in the presence of 2 witnesses, 1 non-family, the attending physician and the consulting physician, and must confirm a patient's diagnosis and prognosis. The physicians must determine whether the patient is capable of communicating and making health care decisions for himself, herself. The patient must be informed of feasible alternatives to the act. The reason why I bring this up right now is because you see all the links you have to go through in order to get this approved, in order to get the Death with Dignity Act. It should be an open decision, and the patient should be able to receive that. According to Dr. Clarence Broddick of the University of Washington School of Medicine, he argues that PED is ethically permissible. Physician-assisted death is ethically permissible. Physician-assisted death may be a rational choice for a dying person who is choosing to escape unbearable suffering at the end of life. The most important reason physician-assisted suicide should be legal is that it gives terminally ill patients the power of choice, the ability to be in control of your own body, your own mind, and is an essential right to terminally ill, because, for example, all of their liberties have been taken. They're going to be dying within, 6 months? So they should at least have the way they want to die, which is in the love of family and friends, and it's actually at home. And right now, in order for a patient to, let's say for example, they don't live in Oregon, they live in a state where PED is legal, they need to go change of address, change of voter's registration, they need to get a new house out there, and it's just a bunch of extra burdens on a person that's already going through a lot, and it's a big weight to deal upon. And again, waiting is one option you can take, such as palliative care. You could refuse medication. And in the case of Brittany Maynard, who was the spokeschild for the Death with Dignity, again, my colleague talked about her earlier. For her example, the rest of her body was still young and healthy. She was young, and she was likely to physically hang on for a long time, even though cancer was eating away at her mind. She probably would have suffered in hospice care or palliative treatment for weeks or even months, and her family would have to just sit there and watch that. I don't know about you guys, but if someone in my family know they're going to pass away, I don't want to sit there and watch them suffer, especially if they don't want to be there suffering. I want to see them go and die in peace. That's what they deserve at the very least. Now, this leads me to my secondary claim number 2, which is about palliative care, which is about the treatment. Let's say, for example, that you are terminally ill. So let me just give you guys a broad description of palliative care. It is the practice of sedating a terminally ill patient for the point of unconsciousness due to intractable pain and suffering that has been refractory to traditional medical management. Such patients are imminently or getting close to death, usually hours or days from death or even weeks. And the thing is, with these patients, you don't know if they have full control of their body. There's going to get to the point where, for example, an Alzheimer's patient could lose complete track of their memory, and at that point, it's sad that you can't even remember the people you love, and you're losing control of your body. You don't have control of your body. So, for those individuals that have a prognosis of 6 months to live, it is important for them, if they want to have the right to die, they have that right. If someone knows they're going to be in pain for the rest of their life, I believe they should be allowed to end while they are still physically able. Palliative care, again, if you're in hospice care and you're just waiting to die, you could die by starvation, drowning, not drowning, but you get your respirator off, it's similar to drowning. And yeah, it's unfortunate, and as voters, we should just see, it's important that these individuals get what they want. They don't have many liberties. They deserve that small liberty that they want. And again, it's justified in the sense that these individuals want to end their life. It's justified. They have a valid reason. And competent terminally ill patients should have the legal right to refuse treatment when they want to. If they don't want to live longer, they have the right to refuse treatment. So if that's the case, they also have the right to die on their own terms. They have the right to ask the doctor to physically help them, give them medication or a sedative that will end their life in some sense, so they can get the peaceful ending they desire. And that is all. Thank you.